What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about news you might have missed for December 1st. And there's been quite a few news stories just in the first few hours of the day, so I figure we'll hit all these and hope that there's nothing more, the rest of the day. And if there is, we'll talk about it in tomorrow's video. So let's start with the first thing, which is the Game Awards. The Game Awards got a date. I was going to say release date because it's not a game. It feels like a game in some sense, but June 8th, 2023. So remember, this is Jeff Keighley's, second half of the year, whatever you want to call it, does the Game Awards, right? And that's December 8th. So actually it is. He literally is trying to mirror it, right? December 8th is the Game Awards. June 8th now is Summer Game Fest, and it's going to be online and also in person in LA at the YouTube Theater, 6,000 seat theater. So that should be really, really fun. Summer Game Fest has been, it has been hit or miss, but there also has been some really, really big stuff shown at Summer Game Fest over the last, however, I think this will be year 4 or 5, I think he's done it. So, it's becoming an annual thing, or it has already become that, and I always look forward to it. Jeff Keighley shows, what you're going to get. You're going to get some disappointment in your life, but you're also going to get some really, really cool things, and that's pretty much what Jeff is good for. Next up, just a quick kind of shout out or spotlight on Persona 5 Royal, which has sold over 1 million units, so over 1+ million, and this is when it's come out just now on PC, on Switch, on the Xbox platforms, and on PS5. It was originally only on PS4, and those ones actually sold 5+ million. So right now, it's sold 6 million plus units, and this combines Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. Awesome. I love to see, I'm a late bloomer too to this franchise. I know some people, a lot of people, I feel like jumped onto Persona with Persona 5. I jumped on it with Persona 4 Golden, so just a little bit earlier than some, but there's been people that have been Persona fans a lot longer, and it's good to see the franchise become a bigger thing, because this was always, from what I hear, right, in past, I guess, or before Persona 4 Golden, this was always a good franchise. It just sold very little. This was a very quiet franchise, and then Golden, right, Persona 4 Golden really was the first big thing, and then 5 just, took it to a new level. So really great to see, because this franchise is phenomenal, and specifically Golden's awesome. Persona 5, Strikers, all these games, can't say enough about them. They are freaking fantastic, and cannot wait for Persona 6 in however many years we have left. Next up, I want to shout out some games that are coming out tomorrow. This is maybe going to be something I throw in every now and then in these kind of news recap videos, and I felt it made sense because tomorrow is a really big day. We talk about the big pockets of time in 2022 that games have released. Tomorrow is the last, there are some more games after tomorrow, but tomorrow is an avalanche all on its own, and that's because Callisto Protocol, Need for Speed Unbound, and Marvel's Midnight Suns all releases tomorrow. And in some places in the world, many of these games actually, well, Callisto, I don't think is, people got it early, some people, and have, leaked the whole thing online. I don't think Callisto Protocol is playable, at the time I'm recording this. Need for Speed is, if you got the, Deluxe Edition or Palace Edition, you could play it 3 days early. People are really enjoying that game, for what it's worth, right? So Need for Speed is technically kind of out, and then Midnight Suns, if you're in certain parts of the world, it is now available. Australia, let's say, for PS5 and Xbox Series S and X, you can play the game. So, for most of us, it'll be tonight and tomorrow. For some people, it's already, you could already play these games. So, great. A little bit something different for everybody, honestly. I've been saying that for a while. While I'm not getting Need for Speed, at least day one, this day, tomorrow, has so much. Each of these games are very, very different from the next one. Next up is Final Fantasy 16. So, we know it's going to be at the Game Awards. We know it's going to get a date, right? In fact, I think we talked about that yesterday. But then we got a tweet from the Snitch today, right? The good old Snitch, who has been generally more quiet nowadays. He basically wrote a poem, but the thing is, this I do believe gives us the date, and many other people believe this, for Final Fantasy 16. So he said, "In the loneliness of the night, a light blinded my eye, 22 grains of sand, and a crystal that protected me. 6 nations divided a common language." And it does seem like it's Final Fantasy. The 6 nations is kind of a hint at that. Crystal is kind of a hint at that. So there's a couple things there. And then what people are reading into is 22 grains of sand, so 22. And then people are kind of on the fence, so the 22nd of something, right? And then 6 nations. Well, I do believe Final Fantasy 16 has 6 nations, but 6 as in June. pretty sure that is the dividing thing. Now, if the Six Nations, like, I'm pretty sure that's a thing in Final Fantasy. If it's not, then the Six Nations could definitely mean June, but I'm pretty sure what they're hinting at is June 22nd. That's what other people are saying. It makes sense considering, and again, like, if I just said, or he just said, June 22nd out of nowhere and there was nothing else behind it, you would say, well, you know, could it mean something else? Well, remember, we know the game releases in the summer. Summer in gaming is June through August, and the game is also so close to being done. It honestly feels like a game that could release in like 2 months from now if they wanted it to, but they're not. But with that being said, right, so in the summer, June through August, but you imagine it's going to be in June because it just feels like it's almost done and ready to go, and then June 22nd. Well, that makes a lot of sense. It's also a Thursday, so, you know, Thursdays becoming more and more common. Obviously, Tuesdays and Fridays are kind of the main two go-to days for games releasing, but Wednesdays for, like, God of War Ragnarok, Thursdays have become a thing as well, right? So definitely it lines up. It's not like June 22nd is a Sunday, right? Because then that would be wrong. So either way, we should find this out at the Game Awards because I do believe they're going to give the date there, and that's just 1 week today, so that's going to be awesome. Okay, final news story is the Transformers MMO. Now, I remember hearing about this, and the rumor today isn't like it exists. It was already kind of known to exist in the rumor mill. So the rumor is there's an MMO coming out for Transformers, and it sounds pretty cool. The issue is the word on it is that it's being developed on Unreal Engine 4, and the game was said to be, like it felt, very outdated, but it has potential. So this could be a game that is supposed to come out next year, by the way, based off these rumors, but it may feel like a game that was supposed to release like 3 years ago. So that's going to potentially be an issue. But rumor is it's a game that exists, and it's going to kind of be like Destiny. You're going to play as the Transformers, like Bumblebee, Optimus, Megatron. They're divided into classes, so they have kind of their own classes, and you're fighting a new enemy in the Transformers universe. And the rumor today is basically that it's switched developers. So it was originally being made by Certain Affinity, and now it's being changed to Splash Damage is the studio that's taking it. They didn't comment when Tom Henderson's site reached out to them, which is kind of obvious. So hey, I mean, I'd look forward to it. Destiny has never been something that's like directly for me, but I love Transformers, and even a Transformers game that feels old or outdated, I think I would still definitely give a try. Even if it doesn't work, I at least want to try it. So you know, here's hoping and rooting for that it's real, and that, you know, this changeover doesn't like delay it, you know, more years. Or I mean, because if you're going to delay it past 2023 and it's already said to feel outdated, you might want to consider changing engines, which would take multiple years, but you might want to consider, you know, doing something to kind of update it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about any of these news stories. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.